Okay, so I just want to let you know what's going on and why I keep talking about Patreon and I keep talking about super chats. Basically because YouTube has taken off all my monetization. The reason they did that is because they believe, I think they pretty much did it to everybody right now, but especially ones that have sensitive content such as myself, which is why you're here, right? You want to talk about dating and sex, and apparently that's not good topic material for YouTube. So I don't get any money right now from them. I'm sure that'll change. I'm hoping that'll change. Hi Brady, how you doing? And Bryson. But in the meantime, if you guys would super chat me, which is at the bottom of this chat, you could give a few dollars my way, and or especially my patrons. I've been getting a lot more patrons, thank the Lord, or thank them. I gotta thank Kyle and Joe and John and anybody else that recently have joined my Patreon channel. I mean, for as little as $1, but hopefully more like $10, you'll be able to see Patreon only content that I don't put on YouTube, like me getting a pedicure outside with a adorable model. And also, I just had a manicure pedicure with the infamous porn star Nina Hartley, and I put a picture of us in front of the nail salon there. So that can only be seen if you're a patron. So I suggest that you become a patron. I know a lot of you tell me all the time how much value they get from watching my shows and for participating and for asking the questions, and I love hearing that you enjoyed it, and I love knowing that what I do is important to everyone, and I put a lot of effort into this. But if I don't get any money for it, it's kind of like a very, I don't know, it's kind of like I don't want to say a slap in the face, it's not, but if you're not willing to help me out with it, that means that it's not that valuable to you. And so again, I'm going to ask that you go to my Patreon page and participate in my venture here as content creator. And the way you do that, it's very simple, and don't worry about it. It's very anonymous. You can make up fictitious names. It's all done through PayPal or I believe credit card. And it's a simple, easy way to support me and that way I know that you have my back and I got your back. So I definitely am able to message you back and forth. I mean, last night I got a message on Facebook, I believe. And the guy said, I really want to talk to you. And I said, fine, go to my Patreon page. But he's like, well, can I just ask you a question? And in a moment of weakness, I said, okay. So he asked me this question. It had to do with about, how he feels about his penis. And it's a valid question. I could definitely, talk to him and coach him on, what to do if he's uncomfortable with whatever issues he has. And then he proceeded to say, oh, but I love your channel, and, I'm interested in this woman and all this other stuff. So, that takes time for me to go through and talk and hear about him and what he likes and what older women he likes and why he likes them. And truthfully, I mean, I don't mind talking to any of you guys on here about that, but I do mind that if it's a Sunday night and I'm ready to go to sleep and I'm trying to help someone and then you start telling me about these other things, that it's not really fair to me. If you're not willing to pay a little money for the value that you get from this, then it's not really worth my time to continue to have the conversation. So enough of that. I'm sorry to go rambling, but I know I'm not the only one on YouTube that's really discouraged by YouTube's policies. They're catering to the advertisers, and unfortunately, anything that I do is going to be sensitive material, and they're not going to want me to talk about it on YouTube, and therefore they're not going to pay me to do this. So do you see the catch-22? I want to continue to talk about sex. I think it's important. I think that a lot of people have so many different things that they need to discuss about it, and I don't see why it's considered sensitive content if we discuss it in a respectful, educational manner. So I'm frustrated, and if you guys have any other ideas besides my Patreon channel, I'll be willing to listen to them. But yeah, if the other way you could support me is to buy my video downloads, such as How to Catch a Cougar, and it's on my website, which is KarenLeePotter.com. Anyway, enough of all that. Again, hi to people just joining: Bean, Highwayman, K. Smitty, Low Key, Tom. All my regular, wonderful KarenLee's crew is in the house. Whoop. Okay, Gotta turn that thing down. Okay. Anyway, so today, hi there, Moment. Today I thought about picking women up in relationship to the do's and the don'ts, because this is this is an example of what I got on my my Patreon. I mean, on my Instagram. I got a message that was like revolting, and I just like, wow, this is the way I wake up to my Sunday morning, Easter Sunday. One statement was, "You look like you saw my dick," and the other was, "I need to meet you. I want to suck your toes and come on your face." Okay, so that would be, in case you were wondering, a don't. If you want to impress any girl or woman or person of any gender, do not say, "I want to come on your face," because that is not going to entice the person to want to continue a conversation. Moment, I'm glad you're a big fan, and please help me out by doing Super Chat, Patreon, or buying videos. I really, really enjoy talking to everyone here, and I appreciate all the compliments. I will not be closing my YouTube page, Brendan, but I can't guarantee how long I can continue to make daily live if I'm not getting any monetization. It's kind of like, would you work as a fireman for free? I don't think so. Yeah, it is kind of romper room here. Okay, so back to conversation starters that will work as opposed to, "I want to come on your face." Again, any conversation that has to do with something of value, of interest, it would really help. For example, all women, and even if you're trying to pick up men, I don't know if these are women or men that are, all people like to talk about themselves. So that's the most important thing to remember. So if you're going to entertain a conversation, ask them something about themselves. For example, if you're in a room and there's something on TV that's interesting, you could talk about that. And that could be the icebreaker maybe. But then after that, I would think it was really important for you to go into something related to them. Like, everybody has a family. Everybody does something that, as far as a job or something with their days, besides maybe sit home and watch video games, but or play video games. But everybody does something. So you might want to find out what it is that they do in their free time, or what it is they're passionate about. I really think that's a wonderful question, because no matter who you're talking to, you want to be with someone who's passionate about something, right? You don't want to be with someone who's not passionate. So I think that's also what encourages and what attracts younger men to older women, is that older women typically have passions. They're excited about something. You can see that I have a lot of excitement in my voice today about my YouTube channel, about talking to men and women about sensitive subjects. So it's easy for me because I have my YouTube channel to fall back on, so I can walk up and say, "Okay, I have a YouTube channel. Tell me about your sex life." I love to ask Uber drivers. And that would be another very good way for you guys to try to get out of your shell. A lot of people are nervous and shy. And if you take an Uber anywhere, typically you can talk to that Uber driver, male or female, about any subject, and they'll answer it because they're in their car and they're bored. So practice. Being a good conversationalist is a practice. I wasn't this comfortable talking on camera until I did it for 4 years. I mean, I initially was very nervous, and I shouldn't say very nervous. I'm kind of an extroverted person in general. I was not as a child, but now as an older adult, I was. But my main thing when I was first starting out my YouTube channel was I was listening, nodding my head, not really debating any subject, kind of like agreeing with whoever I was interviewing, and focusing more on the interview person than on myself and what I had to offer. So I had to learn the techniques of interviewing, and the only way you could do it is by practicing. So I want you people watching this that are nervous to approach any woman, especially an older woman, to practice in an Uber or a Lyft or on a bus or anywhere you're at that you have a chance to talk to a stranger for a period of time. What do you guys think about that? Also, if you live in an apartment building, I would hope that you're meeting one person every day in that building. The more people that you meet in that building, the more likely that if you're not interested in that person, they may know someone that they might want to fix you up with. There's a lot of ways that you can meet people, especially in our bigger cities, that you haven't even really thought about. But the most important thing is, of course, like I talked to you before, one is to do your homework and to start practicing, but the other is to really get your confidence up to do this. So how do you get your confidence up? I talk about that a lot in that video, How to Catch a Cougar, but the other main concern is that you become the best person you could be, both inside and outside. Okay, so I'm going to go to some of these comments because I want to hear what you have to say. Yeah, Brendan suggests finding your likes and dislikes. We all know the creepy pickup commercials aren't the way to do it, but at the end of the day, that is what happens. The cum on the face or anything between those lines. Yeah, at the end of the day, if you try that kind of stuff, you're going to not make any friends, and you'll probably turn that person off. Hi, Ron, my super chatter. See, there are people on here who actually like to super chat me. I appreciate any super chats. And Ron and everyone else, if you're just joining, please like this video. I'm trying really hard to continue the energy and the positivity and everything about what I'm doing here live every day, every weekday at least. And I am hopefully going to be continuing for a long, long time, but without monetization right now, it's really tough. So if you can go to my Patreon channel, Patreon page, /KarenLee Potter, and sign up, I would really appreciate it. Okay, back to more of those questions or comments. Milfan said, I love Resident Evil video games. Well, if you love video games, find out if the person that you're talking to loves video games as well. Unfortunately, I don't know of a lot of women my age who do, but there might be some. I don't know. You can talk to them about it and explain why you like it. But yeah, Bryson's saying, ask about the hobbies. Hi, Reneel. Practice makes good. Yeah, exactly, low key. Meetup.com groups are great too. Okay, so yeah, I mean, if you want to really skip over the step of meeting random strangers on the street or in your apartment building, it wouldn't be a bad idea to start going to meetups. And you know what, the best place to meet someone in a meetup is before the actual meetup. Like if you're just waiting for it to start and you're there early, that's a good time to have private time and get kind of, people that aren't focused on the actual meetup then. They're kind of focused on, oh, when does it start, and that kind of stuff. Bad Mom says, excuse me, hey, I need help finding something, or pointing your finger at the direction and then saying your number, LOL. Is that a good opener? I'm not going to say there's any bad openers other than what I said before about the guy that said he wants to come on my face. But I think, you have to really take a good look at the situation. Be an observer. Be an observer of her body language. So there's certain things that you want to think about. Like if you see someone holding their arms across their chest like this, that usually indicates someone who doesn't want to speak or is nervous about talking. So be maybe a little less obvious than, here's my number. No one is actually I don't think anybody's going to just take your number right off the bat, no matter how good looking or how, what kind of body you have. They don't know you. So if it was me, I wouldn't just say, give me your number. I mean, I wouldn't take your number even. I'd be like, okay, thanks. See ya. I think it's really important to remember that it is, as a woman, a safety issue. And no one wants to give out their number or take a number from a guy until they kind of have some idea what that guy's about. Okay. Let's see. A gym partner. Mohammed. Yeah, if you meet people in the gym, that's I think, a good commonality. I like that idea. All of a sudden I got the sniffle, excuse me. Okay, yeah, I like the idea of meeting people in a gym, in a coffee shop. A lot of people don't like to be bothered when they're working out. And again, that's something you need to look at the body language. If they're really got the headphones on, or they're talking on the phone to someone and they're working out, or they're really into their workout, don't walk up in the middle of them on the treadmill and say, excuse me, I'd like to speak to you, because that's not going to work. So you want to make sure that they're in a place where maybe after the gym and they're sitting in a bar waiting for their friends to come out of the gym, that would be a good place, if there is a bar, or even like a snack bar or something like that. Okay, find a group of girls and then extract. All right, get them to like you. If they like you, they will trust you. If they trust you, they will usually give you the digits. Exactly. So first of all, you have to be likable. And that means not being offensive. Don't be offensive. Don't start with the lines. Like, I love this one guy. I remember when I was in a bar one time, this guy comes up to me and he said, "Is your last name Campbell? Because you are good." And I just burst out laughing. I thought that was hilarious because it was so obvious that that was a line. And I had never heard that line. But again, I don't think that at that point, unless he came up with another good line, I would have continued the conversation because it was so out there. I guess maybe if it's so out there, I might have considered it, but it's not. Yeah, I think it's allergy season. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry with the ADD comments here, but Loki just gave me a suggestion as to what's going on, why all of a sudden I got the sniffles. Hi, Jonathan. Case Smitty, an update. Last weekend, I met a few women. They ignored me for no reason. Well, let's talk about that Case Smitty. Let's use Case Smitty as an example of what went wrong. I think there must have been something. Clash Clan, should I touch my girlfriend's boobs? Clash Clan, I don't know your girlfriend. I don't know if she'd want her boobs touched. So what is your relationship with your girlfriend? How do you meet then and ignored UK? Okay, so that's a good question. So Bean is asking you, Case Smitty, about how did you meet them, and then what happened that they turned around and ignored you? Was there something in the conversation that maybe turned them off, or maybe was there something with them that they had other things going on? I don't want you to take anything personally. It could have just been that they were pleasant and talked to you, and then they just weren't interested for whatever the reasons. Don't take it personally. That was of the 4 agreements. That was number 2. Don't take it personally. If no one knows what I'm talking about, the 4 agreements are by Don Miguel Ruiz. And I went through all the 4 agreements in the past few live chats. So go back and watch the 4 agreement discussions, because to me, they're very important. And I wouldn't take it personally. I don't take anything personally. How's that? Unless it's someone that I know really well, and they say something offensive to me, then I will say, what do you mean by that? Please explain it. And before I take it personally. Jonathan says, be yourself and ask someone out. Right, but you have to get to a point where you feel like there's a conversation going. You can't just ask somebody out, just by, a few comments. You need to have a discussion. Let's see, Milkman says, try speed dating. It's easier because you're guaranteed to have their attention for a few moments and you will meet at least 10 women. And that's a good point, Milkman. I've never done speed dating. I don't know, and I think the reason I like speed dating over Tinder is because at least you have some guarantee that the person is a live person and they're not some fake pictures, or you get a feel for them if there's a connection, because sometimes in a picture someone could look real attractive, but then they have nothing to say and then they're not attractive. So I think that is a good idea, and it doesn't lock you into having like this hour-long even drink with them when you're not interested in them. And I talk a lot about not wanting the whole 2-hour dinners either, and not spending a lot of time and money on someone that you're not interested in. Tom said a good line is, yes, I would. She then says, what do you mean? You say, go to dinner with you if you gave me your phone number. Yeah, I mean, again, I just think before you go to that, I don't really like the lines, I guess. If you really want someone to think of you as different than every other Joe that's walking up to that person, I think you got to get to know them better. And the way you do that is just starting a normal conversation as if it was maybe even a guy. So if you walked up to a guy at a bar, would you say, yes, I would? And then the guy would say, what do you mean? And then you'd say, I'd go to dinner with you if you give me your phone number. I mean, that would be kind of odd, even if the guy looked like someone that would be an interesting person to talk to over dinner. So I think if you did that same conversation with this guy and you walked up and said, hey, I'm watching the Bulls play on TV. What do you think about the team this year? And even if it's a girl that doesn't know anything about basketball, she'd say, well, I don't know anything about basketball. And you can go into, well, what is it that makes you tick? Or, what are your passions or interests? Then you started a conversation with someone. Then she might take you as a serious person to talk to, because this has happened and worked with me. I literally had no interest in a number of younger guys that approached me. But after they got my interest by talking about the music that was playing in the room, all of a sudden I'm talking to them for a long time because they were like, oh, let me give you a playlist of all these different artists that I had no idea about. This is just what's interesting to me. Not all women are interested in music. I'm just saying, for me, this worked because then I started a conversation with this guy. I found out what he was all about. I found out that he was like a pilot, and I would, not a fire pilot. It was a pilot in the Air Force or something. I don't know, whatever. It was interesting to me. So I became interested in the person after he said something interesting to me. Okay. Or, just something that would grab an attention rather than just go right for the kill. You have all the time in the world. Be patient. Take your time. Make sure that you are different from everybody else by making sure that you are looking that person in the eye. You have confidence that you're exuding. You are very interested in making the person feel very special. That's the most important thing that you want to do, is make the person that you're talking to feel special. But if you give her a line, she's not going to feel special because she knows you gave 10 other women a line like that too. Freaky. I'm my favorite MILF. I'm glad I'm your favorite MILF. Smile a bit. I'm smiling. Come on. What do you want me to do? I'm just, I sometimes get on a roll when I talk about serious subjects, and I'm trying to really get someone to understand concepts, so I'm not going to be smiling. But if you guys tell me like something funny, I will definitely laugh. K. Smitty, you were yourself. So K. Smitty, don't take it personally. Those girls weren't for you. That's what I think is the most important thing. You are a good quality person. And if somebody at one other time in your life didn't want to continue the conversation, it may have nothing to do with you. Like, I would love to go back after that interchange and put them in a room and say, okay, what was going on with K. Smitty? What was it that turned you on or off about him? And I guarantee it had something else to do with them rather than you. Like, maybe they had a boyfriend, or maybe they just didn't dig your eyebrows or something stupid, or maybe they just weren't in a place they even want to have a conversation with you. Maybe they just liked having a conversation with themselves. It could be a million different things. Do you think that being a porn star will ruin my life, Clash Clan? Will it ruin your life? I don't think so. I think if that's where you want your life to go, then that's where it should go. I don't think it should change anything in your life. If you're wanting to run for, I was going to say president of the United States, but basically anybody could be president of the United States these days, so maybe being a porn star would help you at this point. So I just think maybe it depends on, once you put something in film, and if you're young in your 20s and whatever, you become a porn star, it may ruin your life if somewhere down the line you want to be, I don't know, a famous attorney, and you don't want those videos to come back and haunt you with your clients. Please don't forget to like this video, everyone that's tuned in today. Again, I love you all. You know how much you mean to me, and I really could use your help on Patreon. But even if you can't afford anything on Patreon, even $1, just give me the likes in the comments below this video and let me know your best ways of meeting women. Okay. Tom did not like speed dating because he said you are brain dead after the 5th person and the stories get confused. That could be true. So I think, there's pros and cons to speed dating. A lot of speed dating events have themes like cougar events. I've never been there to any of those. I don't, okay. Is that better, Freaky? I'm smiling. K. Smitty, I was myself. I never talk about my personal life. Oh, okay. So maybe that is what turned them off. Maybe they felt like you were just asking them questions and not willing to share, and they wanted to learn more about you. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with sharing your personal life at all. You don't want to talk too much about yourself, but there's nothing wrong with it. But K. Smitty, I would love to talk more about this again with you. Give me some more information about what was going on in those conversations. What do I think of an open relationship, Jonathan? I think that if it works for you and your partner, it's awesome. If it's not for you and your partner, it's not good. How about firefighters? What about firefighters? Low key, take your time and do it right, like the song from the 80s. Take your time, do it right. I don't know if that's the right song, but yeah, take your time. People, don't rush through sex. Don't rush through you're trying to pick up a woman, don't rush to anything. Take your time. And if it's not meant to be, then it's not meant to be. You have time. You got more time than anyone. Top 3 songs that turn a cougar on. Good question, MILF Man. Okay, so it depends on, like, what do you mean? I mean, are you talking about, like, songs that you're going to play while you're having sex with a cougar? I like Mary J. Blige's Family Affair. I like Marvin Gaye, Anything. I like a lot of John Mayer. A lot of John Mayer. And Dave Matthews. I don't know. I mean, it depends on, like, what day of the week it is and what type of mood I'm in. It could be like Pour Some Sugar on It from back in the early, whatever, 80s, 70s. Or maybe they like thugs. Exactly, case made. Maybe those particular girls liked someone who is a bad boy, and you don't want that person anyway. What's your favorite mainstream erotica movie, Jonathan? Mainstream erotica movie. Good question also. Let me give that some thought. I like a lot of mainstream erotica. 9.5 Weeks was pretty cool. I remember that one. That was a good one. Let's see. Are girls attracted to muscular guys? Clash Clan. Yeah. I'm going to be honest. That does turn me on. Brady, what is your theory on a long-distance friends with benefits? I'm not fully looking, but I heard from this friend of mine. Yeah, do it. It works great. It's probably a real good thing to have because, you know, if both of you are into that and it works, then why not? Can I twerk? Yes, I can twerk. I was thinking about that. You know, all my life I was, like, not wanting to have a big butt because everybody in my day said the skinnier the butt the better, and now big butts are in. So I always had a big butt, so yeah, I could twerk because I got a big butt. Let's see, Jonathan, once date mother and daughter at the same time, they know each other. What about that? They know about each other, then why not, Jonathan? That's cool. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to yuck your yum on that one. Brendan, have you done speed dating? Wolfman's asking you. Clash Clan, what do you think of Rocco Siffredi? I don't know enough about, I bet she's a porn star. Yes, Jonathan, I like Barry White. The S band, Take Your Time. I have to check that one out for sure, low-key. Yeah, Stan, how you doing? Sugar, gosh, this thing... Sugar was a classic Def Leppard rock back then. And everybody likes Barry White. R&B songs were good back in the day. Yeah, I was really into Teddy Pendergrass back in the day. That's way, way back there. Barry White is great, love making music. Oh yeah, Barry White. Love it. You're my first, my last, my everything. Am I on Twitter? Yes, I am on Twitter and I'm on Instagram. And Case Smitty, what I was saying is if you join my Patreon, I can message you back and forth much easier than Twitter and Instagram. It's too hard on that because too many people I have 16,000 followers on Instagram, and Twitter is not a good method of tweeting back and forth. Basically, I would love to help out, and the best way to do it is on Patreon. Patreon, or sign up for coaching. Besides, most guys believe experts like you and Lucia are making so much money from your shows. Oh, Brady, both of us are not making so much money from our shows. And the reason we're not making so much money, as said before, is because we get no monetization on it anymore. There's no money because YouTube is too concerned with pleasing the advertisers who have gotten nervous because some people have put up hate videos, and the brands found out that people were that their brands were on like decapitation videos and weird shit like that, and Nazi videos or hate videos, and obviously nothing to do with my channel because I'm all about peace and love, positivity and sexuality. But unfortunately, when they when YouTube kowtows to these advertisers, that means that they don't value what I'm doing and they're too nervous because they think their advertisers are going to bow out. So it's basically a censorship thing going on. We have censorship. We are no longer a freedom of speech society because we could say whatever we want, but unfortunately we won't get paid for it. So you see what I'm saying? Let's see. Teddy Pendergrass, yes. Low key sitting by. Crazy by Aerosmith, yes. I will follow you on Twitter. Are you on Facebook? I'm on Facebook as KarenLee Potter Show. I'm on Twitter as KarenLee Potter. I'm on Instagram, KarenLee Potter. I'm all those things. But if you really, really want to help out, it's Patreon or Super Chat here. They have a group of speed dating for firefighters in New York City, Milfman is telling Brendan. I love that you guys support each other. That is awesome. What is so sad about John Mayer? I love John Mayer. How many guys have you slept with, Clash Clan? More than 5, less than 50. You like the cleavage? Thank you, Stan. You dumped the daughter for the mother. She was hot and a freak. Kay Smitty, I would love it if you try Patreon. And anyone who does try Patreon, there are so many benefits there because of the fact that you can message me back and forth. You get special, private, exclusive videos, pictures such as the one I just took with Nina Hartley, special videos that I do only for patrons. And can you show us your boobs? Clash Clan, no, I'm not going to show you your boobs. This is not a porn channel, and porn stars make a lot more than I am. Yeah, I'm going to block you. I'm not going to block you. There's nothing wrong with asking, but after that, let's keep it cool. Hey, Karen, will you do a roundtable discussion with other cougar friends of yours? I do, actually. I do with Lucia, who is a cougar friend of mine. And we do, and actually, I have a cougar friend of mine coming to stay with me this weekend, so I might be able to get her on a live chat. And she's extremely attractive. So, Paul likes big butts, and he cannot lie. Jonathan, the mother, was beautiful and smart and sexy. 5 to 50, there's a big range, Tom. Yeah, well, it's definitely more than 5. I need something about upstate. Okay. Anyhow, it's getting in that time when I'm going to say goodbye to you guys because I got to run to go to yoga. If you want a really funny laugh and video, watch me trying to make it up. And I did succeed in making up to the Hollywood sign in Los Angeles, California. It's up, the Hollywood sign in the mountains. I was able to climb it, and it takes a long time. It takes a long time even just to get to the entrance to climb it because you can't park anywhere near it. And they are closing it down. But my video that I put on is hilarious. So if you haven't watched it, please give a thumbs up to it if you liked it or comment on it. A little bit, it basically was me complaining the whole way up, but it's funny complaining. So I think it's funny. I like to laugh at myself. And it's not all that serious, but it was pretty treacherous. So it was hard for me, who's not a naturally, I would say, mountain climbing type of personality. But it wouldn't be hard for probably all of you guys. And you'll see my boyfriend. He's in there climbing with me. Poor thing. Oh, there goes my allergy again. Okay. Oh, I think I gotta go. I love you all. Don't forget to like this video if you're watching it later. And join me on my Patreon page if I hadn't said that enough. It's getting annoying, I'm sure, from hearing me say that. But I love you all. And keep spreading the love. And I will continue to make videos. And Clash, I will talk to you about that on Patreon. Bye-bye. Woo! What a day.